It has been 453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin.
I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me. You know, she has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark, late night on the 25th. And there needs to be some explaining for that. I'll just leave it at that.
That we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No,
Why?
because the investigation remains ongoing.
Yeah, I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not, my client is Sebastian, and they're the guardians that have the ability to sign.
It just started. Hi, Dad. I know this is gonna sound weird, but tomorrow's picture day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday with all decent clothes? Mom.
Because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
All right, we are live. Welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday. Very happy says 2 likes from Roku and Cell. That is awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Got it on all devices. That is so cool. Really, really appreciate it. Give me 1 second. Let me know how I sound. This will be my last live with this mic, as I got my new one in today. If it would have came in yesterday like it was supposed to, I would have had it set up, but that's okay. We can work with this for one more day. Oh, actually, you know what? Before we start this, let me pull this out real quick here. I had a request. I need to start doing these more again. Some of your OGs know that, we used to always, before we started the show, we'd always feature a missing person. And sadly, I got out of the habit of doing that and need to get back into that. So before we go over Sebastian Rogers, which, believe me, I've got some very interesting stuff, so much so that I'm pretty sure, at the very least, I'll probably have to send this over to TBI and FBI just in case, because it's weird, and you guys will get to see it here first. But before we get started, this was sent in to me literally like just 30 minutes before I went live. This is from my home state. This is Colton Logan Jett, just 20 years old. I don't know any of the specifics other than what's on this page here, so I do apologize. But it says he was last seen November 14th, so we are so we're 11 days out. In Ogden, that's north of Salt Lake City. It's kind of northern Utah. He was wearing a blue hoodie, unknown colored pants, and black shoes. If you have any information, he may be in the Weber area. If you have any information, you can call 801-395-8221. 20 years old, 6'3". So he's same height as me, 272. So he's a fairly big guy as far as stature goes. So if he is out there wandering, he should be easily spotted more than others. So, yeah, this is Colton Jett, 20 years old, went missing a little less than 2 weeks ago, right? 11 days. 6'3", 272 pounds, out of Ogden, Utah. West 17th Street, Ogden, Utah. Blue hoodie. So prayers for the family. Again, somebody sent that in just about 30 minutes. Yeah, just looking, reading chat here. Oh, thank you so much, Marcia Kelly. Sorry, it's a little small. Yeah, I think I got that right. Thank you so much for becoming a member and supporting this channel. That is awesome. Cheryl says, I've been thinking about that cemetery for a while now. Well, if you've been thinking it for a while, wait until you see what I've got, because, wow, this is really odd. I mean, really odd. So let me, sure. Yeah, if you guys can, hit that like button. Again, not to be dramatic, but this is something that, to me, it'd be interesting to get your guys' opinions as well. But I think this needs to be sent over just in case, because when you see the time frame, it's kind of between the 3 and 4. It's closer to 4 a.m. But it is weird, and yeah. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. Oh, so we've got some people that, yeah, I know a lot of locals watch. That's interesting. So you've been in that cemetery. Yeah, I'm so glad you've mentioned that, because there's one thing that I'm curious about, whether there's a loop in that cemetery or not. So, all right, I'm just going to recap real quick. Sorry, guys. I have been sitting down just staring at footage, and it starts to really hit on me about this time of night. I'm just going to quickly go over just the latest theories and updates with all the surveillance footage, kind of where I'm sitting at as far as what I think may more likely happened anyway, as new footage comes out. But of course, we've talked about this silver sedan, not to be confused with the 3 a.m. Stafford car. I try to separate the two. For the longest time, we were trying to combine the two cars, because it just kind of seemed like, what are the odds between 3 and 3:30 that you have a car showing up at 3 a.m. This is on the 25th, I know. But obviously we have this car showing up on the 25th, 26th, and the 27th. And then the night he goes missing, it's there at 3 a.m. And then allegedly, the lights and everything happen somewhere between, 3 a.m. and 3:20, maybe 3:30 if you want to just kind of extend the window. And so it seemed like this car was the most likely culprit, being something, the car that was seen on Stafford, that we can't obviously see. We can just see the lights. But now that we've gotten more footage, we can see that there's a car that arrives at 3:03 a.m. And it appears that this vehicle, this silver sedan on the 26th, leaves off. Let me get the map out here. That it appears, I mean, we can't say 100%, but it appears that the silver sedan actually just goes up, killing, and comes back down and then leaves. Again, I can't say 100%, but we do see another car that does appear to be slowing down, coming from the east, heading west, and that is at 3:03. And there's not many cars on Long Hollow between 3 and 4 a.m. I literally have every single one written down. And yeah, there's not many. There's not many. It's really small. I'd show it. But anyway, so the new kind of theory is, so here we have our 3 a.m. silver sedan Kellen car, which again, it is odd that this car shows up the night before, the night of, and the night after. And here's why I am so like for transparency and surveillance footage and getting it out there. I understand if if there's like neighbors or something, you want to be discreet and not showing kind of somebody's license plate that's not involved or anything. But other than that, I think at this point, release what you guys have that could be help the case. Because for instance, let's just say this car is not involved, right? And this is just some random Joe DoorDash. I doubt it's DoorDash because I just don't know how they'd have the time to drop anything off. Period. But if it was just somebody, driving the night that just before he disappeared or something happened, this could be a potential witness. But again, they may not even know that they were, a witness. And then, 2 years later, it's like, well, your memory's not going to get any better. Who knows what car he may have when he pulled out, if they did pull back out after turning back around. And they did actually see the actual car that's responsible for either abducting Sebastian or dropping something off. Then, I don't know how good their memory is going to be 2 years later. But I still think this car could be, at the very least, some kind of a car that shows up first to kind of scout, the area, which would make sense. Just looking at chat there. Before, I was trying to connect it to the Stafford just because of what I said earlier. I mean, how many cars are there going to be between 3 and 3:30? I mean, at that time of night. And then it seems odd that this car would drive all the way up Killen, be seen on all these different cameras, only to then turn around. And then the other thing that wouldn't make sense is, well, now it's already turned around, and we think that they're letting at least a passenger out to maybe go help carry Sebastian, or if he had already been removed before that, bring his clothes back. It seems weird. Why would it turn on to Stafford? Just seems weird. So to me, instead of having that happen, the car would just be a scout, drive up and down Killen to make sure there's nobody up walking around. It leaves shortly after 3 a.m. We do see a car leave. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, we see a car leave east at 3 a.m. and 30 seconds. The direction it looked like it came from. And then literally 3 minutes later, almost exactly 3 minutes later, at 3:03, we have another car at 3:03 and 28 seconds coming this direction, west. We can see it from the camera in the backyard. And it does appear, I mean, of course, we only see it for a brief second, but it does appear like it's got its blinker light on. And it's at 3:03. So you could have had the scout car go up, the silver one, go up, check, come back, then leave Long Hollow, go back east, and then the car that's actually going to either abduct Sebastian or drop his clothes off are waiting somewhere nearby, maybe even cemetery or somewhere a church or whatever. And wait until you see this stuff, because this is the new footage I got for you. This will kind of back up that theory. And then we have the actual another car pull in, but instead of driving up Kellen, obviously, it turns on to Stafford to do a 3-point turn. And that would make more sense of why it turned on to Stafford in the first place. And then from there, either abduct or drop something off. Okay, so now to the new footage. All right, let me check chat for just a second here. Oh, thank you, Lolo. Oh, I appreciate that. Again, I don't want to take all the credit because there's many people behind the scenes working. A lot of them are actually in the chat. But that means a lot because I know sometimes looking at surveillance footage, unless it's like, especially like this footage where we're looking 500, 300 to 500 feet away at little blobs, I know it's not as exciting as, when we can actually see like, the silver car, we can see that, make that out. But this gets really odd. And there's a lot going on. So we'll kind of explain that. But I appreciate that because this is footage I've looked at. This is the hard thing is like, I've looked at this footage. This is footage that we actually played last live. Because if you recall, I pointed out, I thought it was weird. So as you can see, here's the time at the top here. This is 3:43 a.m. And and I've gone through 2 to 4 a.m., 2 hours worth, and there's so far nothing that I can see, at least from 2 to 3. And then on the tail end of 3 to 4, all of a sudden I saw this light just start to appear, which is weird. And if you guys were here, obviously you guys remember, I pointed this out because I thought it was kind of odd. So yeah, we have this light. This is fast forward right now. If you look at the timer, it's going a little bit faster. But there's a lot more going on here, and we're going to show you guys. Oh, that is an understatement, Sleuthen. Yes. Troopers. Oh, interesting. That's right. Silvers and McCoy have been there. Interesting. Okay, thank you, Trooper. Dang. Yeah, maybe we could look up their footage after, because I'm kind of trying to figure out. So this is the hard thing, is trying to figure out exactly what we're looking at. And I'm sure right now a lot of you guys are like, what are we looking at? And so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys just to give you an idea of where we're at, what we're looking at. So here is a daytime shot, fully zoomed out at 7 a.m. in the morning. Let me get this. There we go. Try and make it as big as I can. I'm going to probably change up my thing here. Maybe make me a little bit smaller, and that way I can expand this surveillance wider. That way, especially for anybody that might be on the cell phone, they can see some stuff. Then anyway, so here is where we're looking at. So here's the construction zone, construction area, right? The top half. Now I'm going to zoom in, and then I'm going to have it fade to black. Metallica reference right there. And show you guys kind of where we're looking at. And then I'll give you guys kind of a rough idea of what I've kind of been able to deduce on what kind of lighting and what particular area we're looking at. But one thing to notice right here as we zoom in, that I'm pretty sure this is the Bobcat right there, with the crane. And notice kind of where the embankment is up here. There's actually going to be a vehicle that drives up. This will be an important kind of anchor to keep in mind. So we see the crane up there. Bobcat. Because this is where we're going to be looking at night. And then if you're still wondering kind of like where we're at, what we're looking at, I'll show you guys some top-down views. So here is, it's going to switch to night here. The audio you're hearing is from 7 a.m. So here's me fading it to 3 a.m. to kind of give you an idea of where we're looking at. You can even kind of see that Bobcat, even, that's just sitting there because it's kind of a lighter tone. So you can actually kind of make it out even at 3 a.m. So here's kind of a big landmark that we've been trying to figure out. I think we have a decent idea of kind of the approximate area of where this is at, because this will be an important piece. Along with these lights here, and what they go to. Cowgal, oh, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you so much. I don't know if he would have the actual keys. I'm sure at the very least he would know how to operate those. As far as actually having the keys, I don't know. But yeah, that's not a bad point. And yes, the retention pond, one of them is over here. Okay, so let's get to it. And like I said, if you're just coming in, not to sound dramatic, but this will likely, and I'll be interested to get your guys' opinion, but either way, I feel like I need to send this to TBI and FBI because it gets a little, things are going to get a little weird here. So here's one more rotation here, and I really wanted to emphasize the dump truck. I think this is a dump truck here. And notice he's going to start to go uphill. This tree is kind of in the way, but notice how he's now kind of going up on an incline there. That kind of gives us a good reference point on. We know that that bright light is just to the right of that embankment, or almost on the edge right there. And so kind of what we're looking at is, so the camera is situated here. And if you notice, that embankment is right here, the edge of it. That truck would be kind of going uphill here. And I think that light is actually like a stadium light. Maybe not. Like, I don't think the stadium itself is all fully lit up, but I think they have like a light, maybe, I remember a high school that we used to skateboard at. They'd always have like at least one light with where all the bleachers and stairs are at. That would be on every night, because we'd have to long before skate parks were a thing for skateboarders. We had to go trespass everywhere and skateboard at night. And there was one school, but they'd usually always have at least one or two big lights that kind of extend over the bleachers, and it kind of lights up the stadium a little bit. It's not obviously lit up, like a football game, but I think it's lit up for people that want to go run the track, and so they don't go falling down the bleachers or steps. Again, that is kind of my guess of what that light is. And then remember, there's that littler light that appears for about 2 minutes, but that's just that's just the starting point. There's going to be a lot more activity, but now here's a top-down view. So remember, we're looking this way. Whatever the objects are that we're going to see here in a bit are in this area. And again, this is just approximate, but I think that big light source, the main light source that we'll see for the most part, is somewhere around that stadium area, in my opinion. Then there's a light that lights up. That's that 2-minute light from 343 to 345-ish. But then there's much more that goes on south of that. And so what's south of that we have, before we get to the wild stuff. So we have some kind of big light source. Then we're going to have activity. And let's get to a nighttime shot real quick here. Okay, another thing to point out. This is Long Hollow. At 3:45, 3:44, 3:45. Okay, here we go. 3:45 and 30 seconds. Now remember, at 3:43 is when that light, that that we saw the other day, and I just showed you again, just fast forwarded from 3:43 to 3:45-ish. And so that is going on. And while that's going on, we have this vehicle at 3:45 and approximately 30 seconds. Could have cut this a little bit shorter, but I had to really slow it down because it's hauling. I'm sure a lot of people probably, especially at night, probably take advantage of that 50 mile per hour limit, and probably are going like 60, 65, 70. But right here, you'll notice it is going right to left, which means it's going east. Right here. There it comes. All right, so we have that vehicle at 3:45. So keep that in mind. So we've got our one camera that can see Long Hollow Pike. There's a little area spot that we can see. So we got this car coming again down Long Hollow Pike heading east. There's a church and a cemetery here. We have the school behind it. We have the annex building here. This is an athletic center where I guess like the football and whatever athletics, I guess they have like, maybe locker rooms or something like that in this little long rectangle building here. Okay, so I went back to 342 just to kind of show you guys everything. But this is where it starts to get really weird here. There's one other thing I was going to show, but all right. So now keep in mind, so this is somewhere, likely somewhere around the stadium. These lights here, maybe part of the school, and maybe a few of those lights are from this church here. And as a matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. This will give us a much better. Perfect. It's reverse. Okay. So it's like literally reverse from using Google. So the camera is right here, and it is looking this direction. Remember that crane? Remember how it kind of went up? That's that embankment. So we know that light is somewhere about here, and if you notice, there's the stadium. So I think there could be a security light. Now keep that in mind. So we know. So remember, here's where that vehicle is going up. We have that crane kind of just chilling up here. We have that light source somewhere about here. The activity we're going to see here in just a minute is going to be all right in this area, which to me is really weird. Really weird. So hopefully everybody's on the same page. This is likely the and keep in mind also one more thing before we look at the footage. Notice, so if anybody's wondering, like if anything that we're looking at is in the construction zone or the new development, it is not. Notice how much higher they are up here. This is Lower Valley because they're in rolling hills. And then notice it almost dips, and then the ground gets higher again here. So just keep that in mind. Okay. All right. Let's go. Okay, this is where things start to get weird. So, kind of go in chronological order here. We have the weird light that lights up, which to me, starts about 343, starts to fade in. At 345, there is a vehicle that I just showed you before. Remember looking at Long Hollow? That is going down that street at 345 in 30 seconds. Oh, it's because it's slowed down. It makes that weird noise. Okay, this is where things start to really ramp up. Oh, that kind of makes sense. Put a mannequin out there to make it seem like there's somebody out there. That kind of makes sense. Interesting. Okay, all right. So, I have to be careful. All right, so we're going to start to see things. And anytime when there's something, I will highlight it and then we'll slow it down. You're going to see a lot of activity going on. And I find it very interesting that this starts to happen. We have this light that kind of comes in for about 2 to 3 minutes. As you can see, it's actually starting to fade out right now as we speak, which is really interesting because just as it fades out is when we start to see some really weird activity. Okay, I've got it slowed down. I need to start putting like markers like, okay, it's coming up in like 20 seconds. Okay, here we go. All right, so at 3:46, that light has now started to dissipate, and then look what we have here. And again, this is like super slowed down so we can really see what's going on. And every time we see something, I'll replay it, slow it down, and I'll zoom in a little bit better. But here, just so as you can see, there is, in my opinion, some kind of car that lights up. It's tough to say what direction, but we will see other vehicles, and I mean vehicles as in plural, moving around. So we see that at 3:46. Let me grab my pen real quick. I know I wrote these down. Okay, so it's slowed down and zoomed in. 3:46 and 58 seconds, 59. $3.40. Here it is. Big bright light, basically 3:47 on the dot. This is a big light, likely a vehicle in my opinion. Yeah, we never know. We may need you, Carolyn. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So we see that vehicle. There it is, slowed down. And again, the timing is so interesting because that was right after whatever little lighting source was right here. And again, if you're just coming in, because wait, it's going to get even more wild here. There's only two possibilities, and that is the light source, and we're going to see vehicles actually move. So the light source is either in the cemetery or it's on this road because they are vehicles. Like 3 out of the 4 that we see definitely are vehicles. I think they're all vehicles. And they do some things that are interesting. And the only other thing that's behind that would be this like road, but I don't think it's this. I think it's, not to say it couldn't be seen, but I think it's a little too far back. So I really think this is in the cemetery. All right, so continuing on. So we saw that at 3:47 exactly. This is, if you're wondering what like I go through, what I'm doing all day, even not when I'm gonna go live, this is what I'm doing, looking at stuff like this, like almost frame by frame. So again, this is pretty much faded out. It's kind of weird. It's like it's really apparent for 2 to 3 minutes, but it does kind of seem like it um, fully fades out at 3:47. Yeah, yep. So it started at 3:43. This light before that one vehicle, and it officially fades out at 3:48. So about 5 minutes. That is interesting. Is it somebody with a flashlight? Were they digging something in there? Right? This is kind of where I'm trying to, you know, I mean, there could be other possibilities, but I am like 80% sure this is in the cemetery area. Because if not, the only other thing would be the school, but it'd be much further back. And this is definitely not in the construction zone. So if anybody's wondering, no, I've overlapped it. That little light, it is not in the construction area. It is beyond it. Because I thought, okay, well maybe somebody's in the construction area zone, but no. And no, there's no homes right here. As far as any of the newer homes in the construction, new development, they start like over in this corner over here, and they're below. Because remember, this valley around the rolling hills, other than this higher part up here, everything else is down below. It rolls down. So everything we're seeing is the church and school lights, and basically what's between that is the graveyard. So that fades out at 3:48, and then this is where things get even really, really odd. Oh, I got so many papers. And I'll stop here and read chat here in just a minute. 3:48. Okay, so 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So as you can see, that light is now completely faded out. Then just after that fades out, so let me just rewind back a little bit. Remember, there it is. We still got a bit of light. About 3:48, it fades out. See if I go back. Remember at 3:45, which is about in the middle, it's very, very bright. It starts to kind of fade. We have this weird light at 3:47. 3:48, it fades out. Then we have this at 3:49. It would be strange for them to be doing that like on a school night. I mean, not to say they're teenagers, but So it's not implausible for sure. I mean, it's good to kind of think of all possibilities, but whatever they're doing, it's only for now. Did you guys see that? That appears to be a car going left to right, and we'll slow that down at 349. So here it is, slowed down. One more time. The lights, you kind of see like the amber, LED, white, the common lights that you would see, especially from that distance, that more reflect a vehicle than anything else. So my guess that is definitely some kind of vehicle for sure. It appears to be going left to right. That's at 349. So we saw some kind of vehicle at 347. Definitely saw that car at 349. And then just a minute later. Here we go again. Just technically, I guess 2 minutes later. Here it comes. Let's see it move. It appears to be moving left to right. It's almost like it's, in a way, it looks like it's coming at us a little bit and then going to the right, which is interesting. So in a 2-minute span, we see two vehicles. Now, could it be the same vehicle? It's possible, but this is where it gets really weird because. So here's it slowed down. Slowed down and zoomed in. Oh, that sounds like a big job. Oh, thank you, bro, Fran. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll talk about the cemetery here in a minute. So again, that is the vehicle. 2 minutes later. Keep in mind, I've watched 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. There is nothing going on at that cemetery. This isn't like some kind of high traffic. This is the tiniest cemetery, if you don't know. Very tiny. And again, such an odd hour. Remember, this is the night Sebastian went missing. This is why we're examining this. So here's the 349 and 351. I want to show you the difference or the similarities for that matter, because this is even where it gets even more strange. So zooming in, I tried to time them up as best I can, but you can start to see motion with both of them. See the light. And again, super, super weird. And that's not all. Then I'm just looking at my timestamps here. Let me go back real quick. Let me just make sure I got those. 349, 351. Okay. Then we have right here. 3:53 and 13 seconds. All it highlights it, of course, right here. And then we'll look at the cemetery, and this is why I think it. Again, I at the very least, this needs to be sent over to TBI and FBI just in case. Um, as you can see, I forgot to put a box, but I do zoom in and show it again. But you do see the vehicle as it appears it's exiting the cemetery. At 3:53. And here it is again. And again, if you really think about it, this is in a span of about 10 minutes altogether. So I don't know what paranormal. What do you and it looks like you spent 80% of it in the car. I don't know. And again, yeah. Again, I'm all for playing devil's advocate because you always don't want to get boxed in on, you know, one theory or scenario. But and then as that car leaves at 3:53, 3:53, it left. And 3:58, actually 3:59:08, 3:59:06. And this vehicle is cruising. Right here. There it is. And this is like slowed down to like 11% speed. Nine, 10. There's about 10 to 12 cars that I have found through 3 to 4 a.m. Mostly going left to right. But that is it on Long Hollow, and it is interesting of the time frame. So just to recap, and I'll read chat, but just think about this. The night he goes missing, we have this weird light that starts up. It's not in the construction area. It is actually, it is. So remember, our best guess is, that bright light, not the little one that fades in and out, but the bright light is somewhere in this area, probably, something from the stadium. But we have some kind of bright light. Here is the cemetery. It's not a big cemetery. We have a bright light that shows up for about 5 minutes, during which a vehicle shows up about 2 minutes after that starts. So it fades in at 3:43. We have a vehicle coming that direction at 3:45. Yes, 3:45 and 30 seconds. And then from there, we see a vehicle, possibly even multiple vehicles, at 3:47, 3:49, and 3:51. And we see a vehicle leaving at 3:53. And that is after whatever, so again, just kind of theorizing, and I'm curious to get your ideas. Is this somebody out there that was dropped off after, and they're getting rid of some evidence, and maybe you got a headlamp on or something, and they're digging and burying something out there, and you've got one or more vehicles driving around. And look at this cemetery. For those that are not familiar with the cemetery, is nuts. Oops. Come on. This is the cemetery. There's the church. I don't know if this is like, yeah, okay, so that's the building. I'm not sure what, is this like somebody's house or like the pastor's home? But this is a tiny, tiny cemetery. Very tiny. You can see the plots. It's not very big. I'm sure if Unearthed Secret's still in here, I'm sure she could probably give me an idea. You can kind of see where the plots start. And again, this is not a big cemetery. So this is where it gets interesting. Is look, like, this isn't like a road where somebody's like, oh, I'm going to take the shortcut. And again, it's not like just a car's cutting through, right? To, avoid traffic, this is a car that is clearly, does anybody know, because I can't see from here, maybe on this I can. Does this loop? Is there a loop in there? Or is that a dead end? Oh, it looks like it dead ends. So you have a road that goes through, and then you have this kind of back road. But that's, I mean, that is 90% sure that is where the vehicle is at. I mean, there's a small chance it could be a vehicle here, but it just wouldn't make sense because we wouldn't see it if it's on this side. We wouldn't see it leave because we got this athletics building that would block the vehicle. And then, if you wanted to say, oh, well, we see it after that, well, then there's this building. So, and then a building right there. So, I am like 90% sure everything that we're seeing is in this cemetery on the night the Sebastian went missing. I mean, oh, it does loop. Oh, it does. That's interesting. That's what I was wondering, if that's what they're doing right here, is somehow looping. So let's look at this one more time, and I'm going to read chat. I'm just going to play this and read chat for a minute, get your guys' thoughts. But oh yeah, we got this really strong brake lighty. It starts at 3:47, which is kind of at the tail end. And remember, all this started. So if you guys forgot, even though that light starts at 3:43, remember we see this vehicle. Oh. 3:45 and 30 seconds. And the reason why I wanted to show this is because we don't see those vehicles until 3:47, and that would easily make sense. About 2 minutes to get to the cemetery. Was somebody already there getting rid of evidence? Remember that silver car went back that way. Did the silver car pull in, drop somebody off, or did the car that the Stafford car, if there was a secondary car, could it be both these cars? That we've been kind of saying there could be two cars involved. Here's the vehicle. 3:45, right? And then what are the odds? So 3:45, we see the car. And at 3:47, I'm going to zoom it in. About 2 minutes later, we get our first indication of a vehicle 2 minutes later. And then almost every 2 minutes, we see, this vehicle that, yeah, maybe it's circling around. I know, Bliss. I know. I was asking hindsight. I know that, you could interpret that as like, oh, he's just saying, if you want to find Sebastian, you need to go to church, but we know how Chris, you never know about him. I don't know if Guy owns that cemetery. I don't think so. I mean, I know the family owns a lot of property. I know he owns, you may be getting it confused with property that he owned around the one of the landfills that just so happened to catch fire. Oh yeah, that'd be great. Maybe a hole was already dug, yeah, and they're just filling it in. I mean, again, I hate to get, I don't know, cynical's the right word, but like, again, I've always mentioned you don't want to get tunnel vision, strapped down to one theory. You always want to kind of keep an open mind. And again, I pray every day that there's some kind of good outcome. But I don't know. For a very tiny, tiny church, and even smaller cemetery, in which there are other days that I'm going to go back and look and see, is this, is there anything else I might see on an off day? But so far, I haven't seen anything like this. And again, this is, you could say, within 20 minutes, roughly, of when he was allegedly abducted or something happened near his home. So, I don't know. To me, I think this is validates enough that this should be sent over to the TBI and FBI just in case. Oh, I'm sorry, Dimebag Chris. Yeah, it's kind of YouTube. Oh man, yeah, I do apologize. Hopefully, I'll be able to turn those down as I do more and more live shows. I'll turn it down to where the ads only pop up a little bit less. I do apologize, but again, this is my job, so it is kind of yeah. Yeah, so people have does anybody know it'd be interesting to look at that cemetery on the ground. Um oh god, my favorite person did a video where they drove in that cemetery at night. It was early on, saying he could have met someone there without getting on camera. Weird. Oh yeah. Yeah, they love somehow him bypassing the 20 other cameras. Yeah. Um, Allegedly says, and thank you so much. When the Hatfields searched that cemetery, they found an orange traffic cone in the bushes by. Ooh. Oh, they do. Yeah, and they did. That is true. Yeah. You're right. Um, does anybody know mods? I don't know. That would be really cool to look at that cemetery video. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm going to send this anyway, but do you guys think this warrants, send it to TBI and FBI? I mean, again, I don't say that very often, but this is, again, really strange. And this is in the window of when he disappeared. I almost feel like, at the very least, this is some kind of meetup at the end of whatever they did, or something even more nefarious. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. Again, because as can't talk. Speaking with other former law enforcement, I know that they hate to get a lot of people try to help, but sometimes that's a double-edged sword because they flood, you know, the tip line, and that could cause them to accidentally overlook a tip that might be more important, you know, if they're getting slammed. So I never want to send anything, but to me, this is just a strange area to be at this time of night and in the time frame that he went missing. You know what I mean? Do we know? Does anybody? Oh, I know you guys can't put links. Do we know the title? Can anybody put the title of the video, the Hatfields one? That would be really interesting to see. Oh, and At Night did put something else. If you missed it. As I wait for somebody to put the title of it, let's go over the At Night thing real quick. But if you missed it, they did release, you know, a bigger photo, or I should say, a screenshot of the surveillance footage from Strike and Spare. To me, in my opinion, I think they should release it. I don't see what it helps to hold on to it, right? It's been, we're going on 2 years, guys. I mean, like, if you got the footage, release it. How's it going to help by just sitting on it? I'm sorry. You know, if you had something, a lead way early, we're, in the first couple days, couple weeks of a potential suspicious person, you didn't want, to scare them. But, I mean, we're 2 years out. I mean, get the stuff out there. That's why I'm on my Patreon. I'm putting out unedited, no watermarks, because I'm sorry. My biggest pet peeve is watermarks. I mean, I'm grateful for them to release anything. I hate watermarks. I hate them. It is. Don't get me started on watermarks. I cannot stand it. If the case has already been solved and, you got surveillance, people get body cam footage. I know that's a big thing. People getting body cam footage of cases that have already been solved. Put watermarks on that. I understand that, but if it could help the case, it drives me up a wall. But anyway. Oh, look at you, Pocahontas. All right, well, maybe we'll do that, and then we'll read At Night. And you got the timestamp. That is awesome. You guys are amazing. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted. I was reading something. Hatfields. Searching for Sebastian. Is that what it's called? Oh, and thank you, troopers. Let's see. I wonder if I should do that first, and then searching for. Okay, does that look like it right there? That's probably it. Timestamp 27 minutes. Oh. Oh. Oh, and they drive out? Oh.
Look, had a dog. You could take in a Chihuahua down there. And just out running around, he would have found a body. So.
Sounds like a fun couple to be around. So here we get an idea of.
Harping on it sometimes. Even though an area looks like
how
it's
far
been-
away it'd be. Sorry, I'm gonna turn them down here. So there's like an entrance and an exit. As you notice, there's kind of like another street right there, but so here we are. Oh, nice. Are they gonna go through it? I might go full screen for a minute so I can use the restroom. Okay, so they find it at. So you get out. Okay. I'm going to go full screen so I can use the restroom. I'm just going to let their voice play. But this is giving you an idea of just.
I'm Sora too.
Aha. So I got to watch ads too.
We're not afraid.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go full screen so I can use the restroom real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
There we go.
You like it?
Yep.
All right.
Here
Let's go
we
here
are.
to the line.
Okay.
Let's walk over here to the fence line.
Okay.
And we'll just take you guys along with us.
Sure.
And like I said, Lord, we would have a heart attack if we actually run up on something. That would be a God be the glory, but
yes,
it would be
another oh my Lanta moment.
That's a miracle. But happened once.
That's right.
We can do it
Sure
again.
did. It sure did.
Faith of a mustard seed.
And that's
Let's
a mustard seed is really tiny, guys.
Let's find this young man.
That would be wonderful.
Now, what you got to understand, just like Sheila and I talked that day, we're not looking for a human body.
We can only go so far as if somebody.
If he is, something did happen, it would be
Yeah.
and again, let's look into places that's less obvious that most people wouldn't even want to go with. And you're just looking for.
Okay. Here's a big old tree.
Okay.
I know there's people out there that's thinking, what in the world, where do you start at? Well, you start somewhere.
Yep, this is somewhere.
You've got to start, little bunny rabbit.
The bunny rabbit.
You've got to start somewhere.
Yep, good point.
You've got, what's this right there, baby? That's a leaf. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's even got barbed wire. So yeah, that's the kind of same fencing that separates the construction from the other, from Kellen, the backyard Kellen side. That's interesting.
Probably a needle in a haystack.
See, now they're going towards the direction where this light and stuff is coming from.
Never find nothing. But we know we're not going to find nothing sitting at home on the couch.
God, is this weird?
Right.
Well, I've been in just a strange world. This was where something was buried. And they, walked right over it.
Oh, my Lanta.
That would be so wild.
For just bones.
I know.
Hey, let's hope we don't find nothing like that.
Well,
But,
please.
again,
I mean, they found a body
Those
before,
just like
or
Mr.
multiple
Couch.
bodies, I think.
Somebody needs to. Just right here.
Now, keep in mind, so I didn't see the date on this, but clearly all these homes up here were not developed yet. They clearly are out there a year later, months later.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of curious about this cone.
Never know.
What's that?
Never know. And I'm surely, this area has been defended here.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
But when they talked about.
Uh-oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
The little gypsy girl. Look at that.
Oh.
Look here. She didn't have a name. The little gypsy girl, age 10, died. about 1922 while family was visiting Shackle Island. Little gypsy girl. She didn't have a name.
Trooper says, Chris, this was a year later. My brother's new home backs up right to that. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Interesting.
Freeman looks like.
Freeman twin.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of skip it forward here because it's a lot.
If there was some dirt disturbed.
Wait, what?
Good
Pay
point.
attention in a graveyard if there was some dirt. You know, my question would be.
Yeah. So all these homes weren't up.
My question would be, was there any fresh graves?
Something that was looked disturbed.
Was there any fresh graves during this time where somebody was buried?
Mm-hmm.
And if there was, did anybody come back and just check and see if a foot or two down in that fresh dirt?
Oh man, what if they did something like that? The cone part after the...
Somebody was buried a day or two later.
Okay, is that later on alleged? And thank you guys.
A day or two later, Sebastian disappears.
Oh, see, we got the expert here, Carolyn.
Let's walk over this way, buddy. We don't.
Somebody's looking for a place to put them.
Yeah.
And they go to that freshly dug grave. They dig down a foot or two, and they put him in it, and then they cover it back over. Nobody's ever going to know. I'm not saying that's what happened. Don't know what happened.
Sure.
But I would want to know who had been buried within a week or two of that.
Oh, that is crazy.
And
they look like they've cleaned the brush out here, don't they?
Yeah, and that may very well be what they're doing. But
anybody have a timestamp on the cone?
in the graveyard.
Did I go over it?
Up here's what we saw from that construction site.
Yeah.
That's what we're working toward. I just wanted to clear this while we were at it.
Okay.
Start at one end, go to the other.
Yeah.
Now, other than
this is like giving me goosebumps here.
Then we'll know that's
not like not good goosebumps, but.
Oh, shucky darn.
Not that it hasn't before.
It's like what they're saying is kind of like.
But we know that from experience that things do get overlooked.
We got somebody's dogs.
Okay, thank you, Alleged. I appreciate that. Oops. I'm really curious about that cone.
He's there now. He might have been there 9 months ago.
There's another construction site over that way.
Oh, there's a fresh grave right over here, I think.
Yeah. Oh, tree.
Yeah, notice how this is higher ground. Oh, this is a good spot to maybe pause it and go switch over to my video for a second.
Let me show your shirt. Sheila and I got some new shirts. Mine ain't come in yet.
I know. He ordered his before I ordered mine.
That is our.
That's how it works.
The shirt speak for itself.
What a great couple.
That's okay.
Yeah, it will be. This is just really, really weird. You know, better be safe than sorry. Well, let me pause it just for anybody that might be coming in and be like, what are you guys doing?
It has been 453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville.
Trying to get some bearings here. So anyway, just in case you missed it here, and we'll go back to that video. Hopefully we'll find that code. But you know, again, this is on the night that Sebastian disappeared, and days ago when I came across some footage, I'd seen this light that lights up, And so here's a daytime switching into the nighttime right here. Actually, let me do it like this. And this is the construction zone, but we get lights, some weird light that lights up for about 5 minutes, and then we have these vehicles, but they are more than likely in the cemetery for about 5 minutes. And it's just very odd. So that light, again, this isn't in the construction, it's just beyond it. And so we have this light that lights up. We have a vehicle that we see come down Long Hollow at 3:45. And then we start to see vehicles, lights, starting at 3:47, 3:49, and 3:51. And then we see a vehicle exit at 3:53 right here. And this is all the cemetery area right here. And then right after we see all those vehicles, we see a vehicle head back west at 3:59 and 8 seconds. Very fast. Like, this is super slowed down. The thing, I mean, they're hauling. Let me go back to them. Do we get a timestamp? Is this the same video? Oh, thank you, Kay. And happy holidays to everybody. I forgot to say that. For everybody that celebrates Thanksgiving coming up. Yeah, it's actually part of the church. It's right there, microdot. Let me know if we got a timestamp here.
What's the date on that? Can you see?
2024.
Just a year.
This year.
2024. That would have been a...
Oh, what happened?
Guys,
oh, they did a cut or something.
We've been live. Sheila is on her phone live, and but we had put them mic things in the bottom of that phone, and the mics wasn't picking up. We're thinking he's in this area. Now, don't make it.
That's creepy. That is that's just even more creepy.
You may want to come right back and look up through this area. We very well could have missed it.
Exactly.
If he is in fact here.
Who will you be today? Meet your new creative team, Edimaker AI. Choose from over 120 professional and animated AI avatars to match.
Oh, they show the back entrance? Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of... Oh, is that the cone?
This is being dozed. Now, this is
I
my...
saw a cone back there.
Get on them a little bit.
Out. Woo.
Can you believe all these strangers that have been out here grinding on foot
scream, guys. I thought that
while
was a spider on me.
Crispy and Kitty haven't lifted a finger? Oh, it makes me sick. Makes me sick.
Few that's autistic, and that made us think of him. And they have it rough enough the way it is. But what is it?
She has an autistic.
Do you?
Yes.
That's sweet.
He is very high functioning.
That's the way our nephew is.
But just
And that's what they say.
Oh, is that the cone right there? Wait a minute.
Huh?
Oh, there's the cone.
Okay, let me
Oh, that's, oh my God, that's creepy.
See if that's got any relevance.
I know anybody can get cones, but
Why would that be down in there?
that is such
Maybe it's sitting right on the property line, probably. Yeah, maybe right on the property line. Right in the fence post. So maybe somebody, baby, there's a tick. You've got to watch for ticks.
You got one on you?
Oh gosh, yeah. I've gotten so many ticks, gotten lucky, but yeah. Yeah, so they were up here searching and up here as well. Not sure how far they went up this way here. I'm pretty sure they look like they kind of followed this path up here. But again, yeah, long story short, let's see, we started at 6, but yeah, there's one last thing I wanted to look at, but yeah, isn't that just weird? Could be a marker. Yeah, here's the oh, there's the stink feet home. Cones. Again, you know, he is kind of in construction. So I can see clearly why he would have them. But you know, it is interesting. A lot of them are pretty generic, you know.
Okay, let me go. Let me go look and see if that's got any relevance to anything. Why would that?
And I mean, I don't know if you'd be using a cone to, oh, this is where we buried him, you know, that'd be kind of stupid. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to theorize, right? But, man, that is wild, though. I mean, these lights, again, what? Like I said, I got other footage from other days looking at this direction, and I don't see any, you know, I don't see movement, you know, I don't see that, what we see here, you know, that's why, and then of course this is on the night he disappeared, that's why to me it's just, you know, and it's just the combination of everything, this weird light that's like lighting up, and then what appears to be almost 2 cars, unless this car's like circling. That's the other thing. That's why I showed these two together, because it's like they both look like they're going left to right. But yet we don't see like right to left, which is weird. You know, they could have came down this one of them, let's say just to entertain, you could say if there was 2 cars, one, and then they were like kind of meeting up, one could have came back down through this area here and they met up, and then one left this way, because I only see one vehicle. Again, it's possible it's the same vehicle, maybe it's circling somehow, or you know, one vehicle came one way, the other vehicle came the other way, they met up, he got rid of some evidence, and then each vehicle went separate ways. One went out just the normal way, so it looks like one vehicle came in and one vehicle came out, but they were behind back here when they met, so maybe that's in a kind of a dead, you know, area where, you know, they didn't think any cameras would be. Yeah. Thank you, troopers. It is right. That's why I'm like, I gotta send it, because it's really, and again, and always when I see something like this, this anything that's like in a particular area, I'll always try to get footage from like the night before or the night after or hours before, hours after to kind of see like, okay, what, you know, what's common for that area, like traffic wise, light wise, and so far from what I've seen in this area, there's nothing except for this, the night he disappeared. So I don't know. I bet he would. I I would not put him past. I would not put that past him. Oh, did they? They took the guns aside. Yeah. Crazy Bird says, I work construction. You don't take things home from your job site. Yeah, interesting. Barry says, I think they're stupid enough. I don't know, considering, I mean, allegedly, if they did it, they've gotten away for nearly 2 years. So, at least did some things right. But again, there's no such thing as the perfect crime. And their days are numbered, whoever's responsible. And we just got to keep pulling those threads. All right, one last thing. Because I don't know if I'll be. Actually, no, I won't be on tomorrow because of Stranger Things. Got to get my part 1 binge in. Can't wait. But let's finish up with the search. I've been meaning to commentate over this. And I really hope At Night releases the footage. I don't see what reason they need to be holding on to this. Because allegedly in it, not saying too much. And again, I haven't seen it for myself, so I can't really confirm, but and I think Seth's kind of mentioned a little bit, but he didn't, Katie makes it seem like he's having the best time of his life, but Seth says, well, I don't want to say Seth says, but from what I understand, it was the opposite. He seemed overstimulated, kind of just like the same how he is at the Texas Roadhouse, where he's just kind of disengaged. And even more when it comes to Strike and Spare, there's other alleged things that might be in there. And again, and it would get this case, people talking more about this case and put even more pressure on these people, especially coming up on an anniversary, his birthday. Oh, Culliver's. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Actually, I'll save that other thing for next live. Is Hindsight still in here? Where can I find that Culliver's? This is really awesome. If you guys haven't heard this. Okay, thank you, Troopers and Iris Mom. I saw your thing there. This is really cool. How cool is that? So for Sebastian's 17th birthday, Culver's. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing it wrong. We don't have Culver's here. They are offering some kind of like free, like little ice cream or something, for his birthday on December 7th. Voices of Truth. That's awesome. A nonprofit advocacy group has been sharing updates on a weekly live stream. Is partnering with Culver's in Clarksville for Culver's Care, a public awareness birthday event on Sunday, December 7th for Sebastian's 17th birthday. The restaurant will offer free malt and distribute the FBI missing person flyers. Advocates say malts are one of. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he loved malt. Oh, yeah, I could. Whew, that went over my head. That is so awesome. Organizers hope this will keep Sebastian's case. Did they talk about it here? Oops. What did I do? Oh no. Oh no. Or is this? No. Okay. Never mind. No, it's just an advertisement. Okay. So they have a flyer, which is really cool. Well made. It's got the address, phone number, got the voices of truth. That's awesome. How cool is that? Do you see any of the family, like on the Stink Feet side doing something like this with the amount of pull? Listen up. We've got 3 hours. No. Get away. Yeah, with extra malt. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, just think about the Stink Feet and the kind of connections they have, and they couldn't put something like this together. And you're talking about a group, amazing group, that obviously, it just blows my mind. But that is so awesome. Yeah, you guys should be so proud of yourselves for putting that together. I have a degree in criminal justice with a concentration in forensics, so I notice the small details. That's awesome. But oh, is it really? Oh, that's awesome. Oh no, I'm good. I'm sure that's probably an old one. Yep, nope, I found the email. That is so awesome. Wait, I think there's one more. Hold on, let's see. From the stupid Tennessean. Da 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 da. Yeah, I don't know about this part. In September, the FBI debunked several theories. I don't know about that. I disagree with that. But that's awesome. That is so awesome. I was hoping for I'm sure there'll be something more, like a video that they'll put out. That is so awesome. Good job, guys. Then At Night put out something. I'm not going to read all of it. They talk about, they mention a date, which is interesting. So they go back to January. Oh, whoa. I didn't realize it went all the way to 2000. Okay, January. Okay, yeah. So they're looking for individuals and vehicles that were seen in Sebastian's neighborhood between the 1st of January all the way up to he went missing. Speaking of Ubers or rideshare vehicles, I wonder if this has anything to do with the vehicles that I've been seeing. And again, but yeah. Repeatedly in the area, which obviously the silver sedan is one of those. Vehicles that appeared out of the ordinary for this residential. Right. We were trying to determine who these drivers' occupants are. Yeah, exactly. This is why I think, you need to get the certain surveillance out there because, again, yeah, these, like they said, the silver car, that car could be just an innocent bystander that was could have been a potential witness, but here we are 2 years later. How the hell, if they saw something, it might be a little too late. But yeah, I'm glad, they're putting that out there. That's awesome. Bliss, I'm sorry I missed this earlier. Yeah, absolutely send it in. This was exactly how Joe Clyde Daniels' father was charged. They received video tips. Great work, Chris, and many more. Oh, thank you, Bliss. And Linda Hall gifted a Mob Crew membership. That is so awesome. Thank you, Linda. Donna, I missed you earlier. Oh, wow, I missed quite a few. Joanne. Yeah, I think it's Joanne. I'm sorry, it's really small. Love your work, Chris. Thank you so much. Member for 10 months. You are so sweet. Donna, also member for 10 months. That's pretty cool. Chris, you're the best. Thank you so much, Donna. Kitty Hawk, thank you for the membership. That is so sweet. Thank you, Kitty. And Kitty again at night just posted, yeah, which, unless they posted something else. To me, I mean, if they're listening, to me, they need to put this out. If they've got the footage, I understand maybe if they need to, if there's other people in the video, maybe. I mean, if the quality's not the best, I don't think it's gonna really matter much. But yeah, I say release it at this point. Sassy also given a Mob Crew membership. Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you, Sassy. And thank you to my wonderful mods, as always. So yeah, I think we'll finish up there. There is something I've been meaning to go over literally like for the last week and a half, and that is the search. And some of the quotes Crispy talks about. I'll save that. So I won't be live tomorrow because my Stranger Things comes out late afternoon, early evening, 5 p.m. my time, on Netflix. But I should be live on Thanksgiving. And mods, please, if you can't make it, no worries. But we'll probably do a show on Thanksgiving, probably later in the evening, around this time. So yeah, Microdot. Again, I don't. It is a little suspicious. Thank you, B. Truly, thank you. And happy holidays to everybody, because I guess till we're back on, it'll be Thanksgiving. So for those that celebrate it, happy Thanksgiving to you and your families out there. Thank you to the special team that's out there. Voices of Truth, Hindsight, BMW, such amazing work. Trent. Members. I got a new pet outro, so I got the new pets ready. Patreon. I just put up the 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Someone let me know that I think it's 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. is the 25th. So I'll probably just leave that up and I'll put the 26th up. I don't know how I got that mixed up, but so I'll try to get that up by the end of the week, I should say. So the members, even though everything you can go get there at Patreon, the stuff that's the footage it's free. You don't have to have a membership because we want to find Sebastian. So that's up there if you want to check that out. It's unadulterated, no watermarks. You can go and download it and check out and see what you see. And yeah. And one more time, just if you're local, Colton Jett went missing 11 days ago. Right? Yeah, 11 days ago. 20 years old, 6'3", so he's a tall guy. 270 pounds. Went missing out of Ogden, Utah, so that's kind of northern Utah. Last seen wearing a blue hoodie, black shoes. If you have any information, you can call 801-395-8221. We'll try to start doing this more often like we used to. And yes, we will cover other cases. I know I keep mentioning that. There's a couple reasons why, obviously, I've been on the Sebastian so much is because I'm in a unique position that we're getting new footage, and it's kind of, and I know this case could be solved. It's just they need enough, without having Sebastian, they need enough substance, to be able to pull the trigger, because obviously I think the biggest thing is they don't want to pull the trigger and them not have enough, without having Sebastian, a live body or not, because if they don't pull through, then, they can't, double jeopardy. They can't really, unless it goes like federal or something like that, then I think maybe that changes things. Again, the law, that's out of my wheelhouse, but yeah. All right, guys. So happy Thanksgiving to those of you. We will see you guys on Thursday night. Let me get that pet outro. I do got the new pets that were in. If you are a new member, like recently new member, we'll wait maybe at least a week before we ask for any new pets, because I prefer to have them come in all at the same time. It's just so much easier to do it that way. So, but thank you again, mods. God bless. Members, thank you so much for the support. Patreons as well. MST, I'm sorry, I can't tell if that's Mr. MST, but thank you for the membership. And with that, we will see you guys Thursday. God bless. And thank you, Patty. Sorry, I meant to get you as well. All right, pet outro coming in. We'll see you guys Thursday. Happy holidays.